This podcast is part of the MyPodcast.com network. Go online right now and get your very own 100% free podcast, MyPodcast.com.
Welcome back to the G-Spot. I'm your host, Krill GQ. And my first guest is Pearl Jr. She is the author of the books How to Tame a Dog, Black Women Need Love Too, and the website blackwomenneedlove2.com. Welcome to the show, Pearl Jr.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's always good to have you. And my second guest is Tariq Nasheed. He's the author of Art of Macking, Player Be Played, The Mack Within, the DVD Mack Lessons, and the website kingflex.org. Welcome to the show, Tariq Nasheed.
What's going on, player?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Just flowing straight from the survival scrolls. You know how I do it.
I am glad to have both of you on the show, and we're going to talk about some issues. I'm going to go ahead and get right into the questions.
Okay.
And once again, I'm going to give both of you a chance to respond. This first question is to Pearl Jr.
Yeah.
Okay. You said in the podcast recently with an interview with Coach, it is treason for black men to abandon us, meaning black women. We as black women are your responsibility. We are failing without you. Would you care to talk a bit more about that?
Well, I think that, after you learn so much and you get into the bare basics of the natural instinct, the physiological makeup of man, the physiological makeup of women, and then you finally say, okay, something is missing. What is missing? And men have a natural instinct to achieve and acquire things to attract a woman. And when you take away that instinct to achieve, to aspire, that motivation, it really hurts the man in the long run. So when I say that black women are black men's responsibility, well, gosh, we're girls. I don't mean girls as far as age, but I mean girls in a sense of we need to be provided for and protected. And without us being provided for and protected, the race is not succeeding. We're failing as a race, and we're going down worse, and there's more men that are going to jail, and it's just a bad situation all in and of itself. So what we thought was cool as far as smacking, hey, baby, hey, boo, what's your name, this, that, and the other, just isn't working. So we got to get back to the basics.
Tariq Nasheed, would you care to respond?
Yes, I would. The thing is, black women cannot complain that black men are abandoning them because black women are the main ones who are talking about they're independent. You don't need a man. You can do it on your own. And after years of listening, well, that's the era that you guys created, and we're not going to sit up and just play games with you guys. If you want to be independent, be on your own, you don't need a man, knock yourself the fuck out.
But you know what? Wait. First of all, I hear antagonism, and I don't want to be antagonistic against you because I don't want to be fighting with a man. Okay, that doesn't solve anything. Now, what I would say is you're right. We did make some errors in the past. Daddy was a welfare check mentality really hurt us because when the government is giving you everything, why do we need to even put up with your trifling self? That's what was in the mentality. But now that everything has come to fruition and we're not winning, we got to rethink some of the old thinking that we had.
But if you make an error, sometimes you have to deal with the repercussions of your error.
And I think we are.
Well, and you got to repent for that. It's not our fault that you messed up.
Yeah, it is. Because you guys should have been men despite it. All other men could have, every woman could have gotten welfare. Every woman could have. But certain men said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stand up as a man.
No, you sisters were talking about you don't need black man, you're independent, you're all this stuff. So we said, okay, so be it. Be independent, be by yourselves. If a person goes out and commit a crime and they go to jail, of course when they're in jail and they're being punished, they want to say, okay, well, damn, let's change the game a little bit. But at the end of the day...
But what I'm saying is, so who's going to win if we do that? Who's going to win?
But we're already winning. The brothers are winning because we.
No, you're not. You guys are incarcerated more than ever before. You're dying of diseases, dropping dead left and right. You're failing. You're not graduating high school. You're not graduating college. I mean, for God's sakes, the richest woman in this country is a black woman. It's not a black man. So what do you mean we're failing? We're doing fine.
No, you're not. As far as diseases,
you guys are failing.
No, black women have more diseases if you want to go there with
No, we don't. What are you talking about?
far as AIDS rate,
No, honey, you got to understand the statistics, baby. It's 73% of new cases. New. That means we've never had it. New cases. 46% of gay and bisexual men, black men, have the HIV virus. You guys are passing it on to us, so don't get it twisted.
Most black men aren't gay and bisexual. That's that bullshit that y'all like to say that all black men are on the down low. That's a defense mechanism that you women use because you can't get a damn...
No, but you tried to blame the AIDS on us, but we're getting it from y'all. What are you talking about?
For the case, the same amount of men would be getting AIDS as well. 2 and 2 equals 4.
You are more of a danger to me than I am to you, okay? It's just the biological makeup of how we exchange fluids. You see what I mean? And we're not going to get caught up on that, but you are wrong about all of us having AIDS. We just finally are getting it because of you guys going to jail and having sex with men.
No, you're getting it because y'all fucking everybody, and you don't...
No, that's not true. That's not true. You guys are giving it to us.
Because the majority of black men don't have AIDS. That's the bullshit.
The majority of black women don't have AIDS. What are you talking about?
But black women represent the highest AIDS rates in the
No, they don't represent the highest AIDS case. Listen, Tariq, listen, get it right. New cases, new.
Like you're sitting at home baking cookies and your husband comes home and gives you AIDS. You're getting AIDS because you're out here fucking everybody at Freaknik.
Wait, that's not, wait. Stop. That's not true. You're misrepresenting the truth now. See, you have to be fair. You have to be intellectual.
You have to take responsibility for your actions and stop spreading myths about black men.
Well, I think you guys need to take responsibility for your actions because we're not giving it to each other, okay? You guys are giving it to each other, not us. And it's new cases because we've never had AIDS.
You're not giving it. You out there getting it. You're going out there getting it. Stay your ass home. Stop laying up with everybody.
Okay, and I'll be fair with you. We do need to be more careful about having sex. Absolutely correct.
Let's keep that very, very real.
Okay, but with you teaching brothers how to Mack, okay, and telling them how to trick us out of getting it, you are kind of, playing both ends of the spectrum. At one point, you teaching them how to go get it, but then you telling us to tell you it don't work.
I ain't never taught nobody how to trick nothing.
Of course, that's what art of Macking is, ain't it?
No, it's not. Actually,
what is it then?
My book teaches men how to be men about themselves and how to handle business as men.
And then on your website, you got hoe-looking chicks on your website? What are you talking about?
Why they got to be hoe-looking chicks?
Because they ain't got no clothes on.
It's like 2 women with no clothes on my side. When actually she has clothes on, she's in her drawers.
She's in her bikini. They're scantily clothed. What are you talking about?
On every MySpace page. What the fuck are you
talking about? You're like a contradiction, a walking contradiction. Women don't give up, don't have sex, but I'm going to teach the men how to get it from you. I mean, come on, Tariq. Be right. Be fair.
That's not all I teach. That's not all
I teach. Well, that's the main message.
That's not the main message at all. And even
well, then what's the main message then? Go to college, go to school?
The main message is to stack your money and don't be no simp and watch out for women like you who's trying to
stack your money? Women like me? What do you know about me?
I'm listening to you right now. You sound crazy as cat shit.
You sound crazy as cat shit. You telling women not to give up coochie, but you parade hoes on your website.
Okay,
You sound crazy as cat shit. You got some damn nerve.
Time out. All right. I think it's safe to say that this is an individual effort on all of our parts to basically have respect for ourselves and at the same time take responsibility on an individual level. Would you agree?
Of course.
Absolutely. As in black men, we're forced to take responsibilities for our actions because they are...
How are we forced to?
Because they have what's called fucking prison.
You're not taking care of your children. You're leaving us. You're abandoning us. You're abandoning your kids. There's more black single households than ever before. We're getting more abortions than any other race at a rate of 300% more than white women are getting abortions. We're killing our babies. We're taking care of them ourselves. I mean, damn.
Do that. That's a choice. Having babies because it's a choice. That's your choice to do.
Yeah, we get abortions, but we don't have them by ourselves, dude. This is one thing that it takes 2 people to tangle.
And it takes 1 to do the running man and run your ass away from the dick if you can't take care of your kids.
Stop parading us as hoes then. Stop teaching brothers how to go get coochie.
But I don't teach
them. I don't understand your whole point. At one point, you're telling brothers, hey, man, this is how you get the coochie. You're parading scantily clothed women on your website, and then you telling us not to give up the coochie? You sound so confused and
If I tell you
twisted.
to jump out of a window, you gonna jump out of a goddamn window too?
Look, I ain't a hoe. Okay, I'm not a hoe. I ain't on your website. I don't have scantily clothed women on my website or scantily clothed men on my website. I'm not sitting there talking about Mack and all this stuff, the art of macking and how to get yours and this, that, and the other, how to con women out of their bodies and not give them nothing for
I'm
it.
not conning nobody. Ain't none of my players conning anybody.
Okay.
I teach
Sure.
true to the
Well, then
game.
what's the art of macking then?
Automatically,
Wait,
I done said that about 5 times. I'm not gonna keep answering.
Okay,
the same question.
let me do this. I'm gonna move on to the next question.
Yes.
And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask Tariq his question,
Yes,
and I'm
sir.
gonna allow Pearl a chance to respond, and then I'll allow Tariq a chance to respond to what Pearl says. So I'm hoping that we can not interrupt each other during this whole process, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
This message is, this question is for Tariq.
Yes.
In your podcast about black women and the snitching movement,
Yes.
you said that there is a collective lack of respect that black women have for black men.
Absolutely.
Okay. There is a subconscious amount of loyalty that black women have to white men in this country. The lack of respect in our community comes into play because black women, feel that they have the upper hand over black men because they know that they have white men to back them up.
Absolutely.
Whenever the white male power structure is trying to destroy a particular black man, they use sisters to do that. They use sisters to infiltrate that. Now, most of what I said is not exactly quoted, but I know you were speaking to a general audience. But I know that you also acknowledged that this happens too common. So can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Absolutely. Like I always said, there's 2 totally free people in this country. That's white men and black women. White women were oppressed a lot because white men were trying to keep white women and black men apart, and in the process, they were both oppressed. Black women were allowed to do pretty much anything they wanted to do.
Liar.
That's not no lie. Get the fuck out of here. The first woman millionaire was a black woman. Black women can do all types of stuff. When black men back in the Reconstruction times tried to really start businesses and be successful, they would literally bomb these places and burn down these black communities that these brothers were creating. This is why a lot of black men became hustlers and had to go underground with their game. But black women were allowed to do pretty much anything they wanted to do.
And get raped.
Oh, please, got it. Because black women were not a threat to white male society. And to this day, the 2 most powerful people in this country are white men and black women. In entertainment, Oprah Winfrey, Steven Spielberg, most powerful people. In radio, it's a white man named Lowry Mays and a black woman named Kathy Hughes, the most powerful people in radio. The most powerful.
Well, y'all need to step your game up.
Let me finish flowing from the survival.
Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to respond. Let me just give Tariq his chance, and I'm going to give you your moment to respond.
Powerful people in politics, Condoleezza Rice and George Bush. Condoleezza is that motherfucker's right-hand man. So black women, you are free to do whatever you want to do. You have choices. Nobody's oppressing you. You try to make it seem like the black man is holding you back. The black man is the most powerless man in this
Well,
country.
y'all need to up your game then. Y'all got some work to do.
We're good. We're good now because
No,
we're
you're not. You just sit there and complain about it. How we're outbeating you. How could you let girls outbeat you? I don't get that. That's because you guys need to put more effort into it and work harder. Period.
We're doing our thing.
Well, do it better then.
The black man in America has to be a hustler about his. So a black man has to identify the enemy. Now, if there's black women who want to be down, when black men want a black woman who's down, he needs to roll with them. But when you get these Pearl Jr. type sisters, they are the enemy. You avoid them like the plague and don't fall for the bullshit. This is why these Pearl Jr. type women are not getting married. People
What
are
are you talking
complaining
about? I got a man. Do you have a woman?
God, man, you don't have no goddamn. No, you don't. No, you
Yes,
don't.
I do.
I don't believe
Yeah,
that.
I don't have a man. Of course I do.
Okay,
I don't believe it for nothing. I can't imagine a man.
Are you kidding me?
Can't
I
imagine
have a man that provides and protects for me.
shit.
Okay, I have a man. I'm sorry. We live together. We're engaged to get married. He's the breadwinner. I'm home. I do my thing. We have traditional roles. What are you talking about? When he comes home, there's a home-cooked meal for him. I cook for him every day. He likes that.
I couldn't imagine a man coming home to that mouth.
All right,
But I don't. Let me tell you something. Okay, now it's my turn. Okay, I'm going to explain to you who I am. Okay, let me explain to you.
Let's get on your
Because for some reason you tend to want to prejudice black women into a certain category. Okay, I am a woman that's provided and protected for. Okay, I am a woman that wants to teach other women that we do need to keep our mouths shut at certain
So
times.
what are you complaining about then? You're talking about how black men ain't doing this, black men ain't doing that.
Right, exactly. The majority of you aren't. The majority of you aren't, and I think that's a reasonable assumption. Not assumption, that's a reality.
You dating
it's a reality.
Are you dating a black man?
Of course I'm dating a black man. Of course, that's my man.
What are you complaining about?
Okay, this is what I'm saying is my book, Black Women Need Love Too, talks about the transition that I had to make from a career black woman, homeowner, doing it all myself, and realizing that I didn't know something about communicating with men, black men in particular. So my book is about, ladies, we got some work to do. We got to learn our men. We got to learn the language of men. We have to learn how to talk to our men. Now, of course, if I'm on a radio station and the only thing that's there, of course I'm going to be a big loudmouth. Of course, this is what I do. I'm an activist. But when it comes home to my man being a man, I'm the woman totally.
No. But just your general mentality about black men, that lack of respect that you and like a lot of sisters.
No. You see what happens is you went and attacked me at the very beginning of this debate. So once I'm attacked, just like anybody else, I strike back. Now, we can bring it down to a normal level if you want to, and I will be normal and not talk bad about you, but I'm going to tell you something, Tariq. If you disrespect me, then you started it. Don't start now, won't be none.
Pearl, I don't believe you have a man, sweetie. I really don't.
I swear to God I do. On my children's life, I have a man. He's at work right now. I have a man. I'm sorry. You don't like it. You know who he is? He's the son of Cecil Holmes that owns Casablanca Records.
Are you looking at soap operas and imagining that those are your boyfriends like Shamar Moore or
something? Are you kidding me? I know Shamar, as a matter of fact, and I think he's a great guy. I love a man. I bet you ain't got a woman.
I don't believe it.
Are you providing and protecting for some woman, Tariq? You got so much game and so much Mack.
We're talking about you. I'm all right.
Sure you are. Sure you are. That's why you probably have 50,000 pieces of pussy, and you ain't been able to hook one yet.
I can hook your pussy if I wanted it. If you were flying.
You might be able to. Because my pussy is supposed to be hookable. I'm a girl. You're supposed to be able to wine and dine me and make me love you. That's your job. But you guys are disrespecting us and not accepting and not appreciating our love and our attention. That's where the problem is.
Okay, I time out, Pearl Jr. I have the perfect question for you next. This question is, okay, you said on the podcast show, our thinking is twisted and we need to get back to the basics, which is, I think this is the perfect setting right now for what's going on. In terms of my audience, in terms of the 18 to 25 year range, both black men and women, there are some problems that we have in our community. What problems do you see in our community? And as a community, what can we do to turn the tide?
Okay, I have a chapter in my book called If You Don't Want a Dog, Don't Raise One, okay? And that goes for the sisters. We're raising the same men we're complaining about. You know, so we do have some issues, Tariq, and I'll let you know that I can talk to you like a normal person. Okay. Secondly, men are providers and protectors. Period. Okay. Our responsibility as women, we are nurturers. That's why we have children. Okay. So when a man is not providing and protecting a woman, she has to do some of the man's job and a man's responsibility, and that's why you have so many hard-working, hardcore, attitude-driven women, because we are outside of our normal being, which is to be provided and protected. So when black men know that their responsibility as men is to provide and to protect their families and their children, therefore you'll see black women start becoming more subservient, more submissive, more respectful of black men, love black men, stretch the ground that they walk on. But black men want that without being the provider and the protector, and that's where the twisting is.
No. You got to be worthy of being provided for. That's the thing.
Course.
You got to. The women right now have unrealistic expectations for brothers. Whenever there is a hard-working brother trying to do his thing, women kind of give him a lot of disrespect. They want motherfuckers. The average woman today wants a nigga who's balling, blinging, rapper, athlete. So they don't want the traditional hard-working good man. That's a fact. There's a lot of
decent that's a problem.
A 9-to-5 job, and women won't give them.
And I think black men think that that's what we want too. So they said, well, if I can't be a baller and a rapper, then I'll be nothing. You see what I mean? So you have to put your work in. Tariq, you just finished talking about how we are winning more than black men. Well, y'all letting girls beat you? Get your game up. Get some more testosterone. You know, talk your trash. Get out there and do it.
I just said women have more freedom. I didn't say you're winning because actually...
We all did it. You just named Oprah, Kathy Hughes, Condoleezza Rice.
I said they're the most powerful. But the thing is, a lot of these women aren't married. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you're not really winning. You have all
Okay, and I'll give you that. And that's what my book is about, how we can have more stable relationships.
That's my point. I didn't say nothing about winning. Winning at the end of the day is being comfortable in your home and content in your home with the family unit, being complete as a woman.
Well, then why are you teaching guys the art of macking then? And why you got scantily clad women on your website? You know, come on. You're confusing me on what your message is, Tariq.
You can hang your hat on because you know that's not all I teach, but you keep going back to that like that's all I'm teaching.
Well, why are you promoting that? That's like right on your website, too.
Not being intellectually honest.
You and like all kind of races of women with hardly no clothes on, the art of macking, all this stuff. I mean, come on, that's not getting us anywhere as a race of people.
Pearl, you caught up in semantics of words and etymology, and my guys who read my books, they know better than that. They're not caught up on the words and the euphemisms and the colloquialisms. They're smarter than that. You're stuck on...
Yeah, right.
So you're trying to say that the brothers...
Try again, Tariq. That is not working. That is a cop-out if I've ever heard one.
Okay,
if
time
you
out.
be about it, be about it.
I'm all about it, but you need
Pearl
to be about it.
Okay, with race in mind, you mentioned on the show, and I don't have the exact quote, but you were saying that the majority of successful black men, and I'm talking about the athletes and entertainers and things of that sort, they are married or they're associated with non-black women.
Exactly.
Could you elaborate on that, and then I'm going to allow Tariq Nasheed his chance to respond.
Yeah. Well, I think that white women are at an advantage towards with black women. They know how to pretty much, they know the language of men, which we don't know because we haven't had fathers in our households being the provider and the protector like white women have. Also, white women have good PR, okay? Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but it's ever since you knew how to see, you saw the blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman being the epitome of... So most of our men are going to think that that's really what beauty is. So therefore, we are at an advantage of being treated as girls. So these black successful men, they for it. It's like they're weak. It's like they have no race loyalty. Like they don't realize how desperate they're needed in the black race community, how desperately they're needed as role models in the black race. And it's really, to me, it's treason to not realize that, because the reputation that they give to their same black biracial daughters, to black women, is the same reputation the little girls are going to grow up to have to suffer through. So they really need to rethink that, because they're disrespecting their mamas and their daughters.
Let me hit on that. Now, as far as the black men being brainwashed into believing that blonde hair and blue eyes is the standard of beauty, a lot of black women believe blonde hair and blue eyes is the standard of beauty.
We trying to get y'all to come back home.
The thing is, we got so many sisters walking around with blonde weaves and blue contacts. If you look at BET,
we think that's what you want.
Damn well, if we're gonna get a blonde, we're not gonna get a bootleg blonde. We might as well get the real fucking deal.
Well, then, but that's how
fuck with you like that.
Can I tell you something? That's how hurt and desperate we are to get your attention.
We're not trying to get the bottom line. When a black man has money, he doesn't want a hurt and desperate woman. We don't want to bring that into our family.
But that's what we are, though, and you got to realize what it is. Because we have to, at a certain point, a man has to stand up and be a man and say, you know what, we haven't been doing y'all right.
Because the thing is, we're problem with sisters who are comfortable with themselves and who are true to themselves. Because if she's true to herself, she's going to be true to us. But if you're
we want to be like that, but y'all ain't paying attention.
We don't want charity cases.
Y'all ain't paying attention. If I'm a nice girl and I go to a club and I'm dressed in regular clothes and I have regular black hair, I'll be invisible.
Well, those are certain types of dudes. That's the problem. A lot of sisters don't.
Well, that's what you represent.
That's not what I represent at all.
Of course it is. You got weave-haired black girls on your website. What are you talking about? You are totally confusing me, Tariq. I really don't know what your message is.
Races on my website. I got women of different races on my website. I date.
Yeah, but they got long weaves.
No, they don't. Not all of them. No,
yes,
they don't.
You do. I wear an afro. That's what I wear.
I saw that looking like SpongeBob. I saw your afro, but the women on my website.
Did you hear what he did? He said we shouldn't look like white women, and then now that I have regular black hair, he called me SpongeBob. See what I'm saying? You guys are setting us up to where we can't win.
You have blonde streaks in your hair. I saw your website. That shit
So
ain't
what? But have you ever seen a white woman with a blonde afro?
Why would I get with you? I would get with a real blonde. You're a bootleg blonde. Why
You
would
know?
I get
I have an afro. I have an afro, dude.
blonde streaks in it? So
I have an afro because we color our hairs, girls.
please.
We color our hairs, girls.
And as far as this stuff
White
about
girls do it, Mexican girls do it, Asian girls do it. We put makeup on. That's what girls do. They decorate themselves.
and as far as us not liking our mamas and disrespecting our mamas,
You are.
now how we did? No, let me explain something to you.
When you're on rap records and all over the world is bitch hoe, bitch, she ain't nothing but a hoe, pimp her, bitch better have my money. I mean, come on.
The women today are not representative of our mothers and our grandmothers. They're nothing like our mothers and grandmothers.
How do you know? You won't even look at one. You looking at the hippie mama.
I do. I look at all of them. That's what's out there. The majority of black men have to sift
Because
through
we're trying to get your attention. Can't you see where the problem is? You guys are ignoring us.
these. If you got to do all that for my attention, I don't need you.
Well, okay, then, Tariq, I'd like to see you with a wonderful, nice, wonderful black woman, okay?
I date wonderful black women all the time because I know what to look for and what to avoid. I
Good.
avoid the riffraff, so I know, and this is what I teach
But
my
you promote the riffraffs on your website, though.
I don't promote nothing but good game and to avoid women like your ass.
What's like me? What's like me?
Idiots. Insane.
Idiot like what?
Insane. What
do you
you're
mean?
talking is the same idiocy that's been holding black women back.
Like what?
Nonsense about black men are brainwashed. They love. I mean, it's just.
You just calling names and you have no proof of it. I told you I have a man. I'm engaged. I cook for him. I stay home. He's the provider. He's the protector. I teach women how to let the man be a man. What are you talking about, women like me? I'm speaking up for sisters. Somebody got to do it. Y'all ain't doing it. You're not providing for us. You're not protecting us. The doggone black community is filled with crime and poverty because y'all ain't doing your damn jobs as men.
Because women like you are having illegitimate kids fucking up the community. That's
Who is impregnating me? Who's impregnating me, fool? You are. We don't have babies by ourselves.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't. You have to give me sperm in order for me to create a kid.
And when you get
That's another idiotic. That's what is twisted. Y'all think we getting pregnant by ourselves. Where there's a single mama, there's an abandoning daddy. How about that? There's an abandoning daddy who didn't even stay with the woman long enough to have it, to raise his own offspring.
Get that sperm, you have a choice. You can go to the abortion clinic. You can take the RU480.
Or you can be a man and take care of your kids. And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Like, I'm a woman. I can't afford a kid. Let me take my ass in school instead of popping out kid after kid.
And we get more, and we're more educated than you are. We're in college at higher rates than you are.
Educated my ass. You motherfuckers are in school. You're not really educated.
Yes, we are. We are educated. We have more college degrees than black men do.
You can get a college degree by.
You guys are really not doing very well as men, really, because of twisted up thinking like yours. You say that you're good, be wonderful, be all this, but on your website you're promoting scantily clad women?
I mean, you done said that shit about 5 times. You're running out of material. Come on with some.
I'm not running out of material. You are. I keep bringing it back to your contradiction. That's all.
Bringing it back because you run out of material. You're saying the same shit over and over.
It's a contradiction, though. But you're a walking, talking contradiction.
Repeating the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of nagging. That's why I don't believe you have a man, because of your nagging.
Of course I have a man.
I don't believe
it. I never lie. I mean, don't be ridiculous.
I don't believe it.
Of course I have a man. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to the website. His name is Cecil Holmes. You can email him at cecilholmes@yahoo.com.
How old is Cecil? Is he like
he's 49 years old.
I believe that shit.
He's 49 years old.
I think you got an old Mexican man somewhere hidden in the basement. I don't believe it.
You see, even when we tell you the truth, you guys don't you don't want to see reality. You don't want to take responsibility, even for being wrong. I have a man, and he provides and he protects me, and it's wonderful.
Because if he were doing that, you wouldn't be complaining. If your
what
man
do you mean? I'm doing it. I'm an activist, dude. I do it for other black women so they can have it. My book is about how to have what I have. That's what my book is about. It's about a transformation that I had made out of this strong, independent black woman that wasn't working, and how I had to try new things and the strategies and techniques that I had to learn in order to get a man.
Well, the thing is, you had to learn in your 40s, and when you're in your 40s,
No, I was in my 30s when I learned this. I was in my 30s.
you don't really have too many bargaining chips. Your stock value is way the fuck down, so you have to do something to compensate for that.
Well, which is good, right?
No, because at that age, we don't give a shit. We're trying to get them dimes.
You don't give a shit. Don't you think there's older men too?
Tariq.
Yes.
We're the only ones that age.
Pearl, I got a question for Tariq.
Yes, sir.
With stock value in mind, could you explain the whole thing about the value of man versus the value of woman, starting at the age of 18, and then I'm going to allow Pearl to respond. So Pearl, just let him make his point, and I'm going to let you respond.
When men and women get older, the man's stock value rises. An 18-year-old woman and an 18-year-old man are on opposite sides of the spectrum. An 18-year-old woman is at the height of her desirability. She has everything that the average man wants. She has looks, her body's in order, tight coochie, no babies, no baggage, no drama. Everybody's trying to get at her. An 18-year-old guy doesn't have shit that a woman wants, really. He's not financially stable, doesn't have his own crib, usually don't have a car, don't have a career, so he has to take what he can get. Now, as the 18-year-old woman and 18-year-old man get around 25, 26, things start to kind of level out because the woman now has probably a kid. She has the little emotional baggage. Her body isn't as tight as it used to be. Whereas the man is just getting out of college, he's getting his career together, getting him a car, getting a home, getting his stuff, finances in order. Now women are finding him a little more desirable. Now when men and women get around 35, the woman's stock has dwindled tremendously because now she has bigger kids, a lot of baggage, a lot of drama, a lot of body issues that men aren't really trying to sign up for. Whereas a 35-year-old man, he's very wise now. He's getting more wisdom, more game. He's getting promotions. His equity in his home has built up a little bit. So when men get older, we become more desirable. If you look at People magazine, the 50 most sexiest men, it's always men in their 50s and 60s, like Mel Gibson, Sean Connery, Denzel, and women, when they get older, 45, 46 years old, whatever, their stock value dwindles tremendously. It almost crashes. So when women get that age, they have to bring a lot of extra stuff to the table to compensate for their stock value dropping.
And, so what I'm saying to you is that nature does take its course, and men have baggage. They're hurt. They live. It's not like they just all of a sudden are 45 and accomplished. So what I'm saying to that is maturity should kick in, and you got to remember, any woman that you get with, we're going to bag and sag, just like at a certain point, your dick stops getting hard, okay? So don't just start acting like we're less desirable. Your shit stops working, okay?
Well,
so therefore, that's why we really should be committed in our 30s, in marriages, in relationships, because when he does that, he has all that stuff so he can provide and protect the family. That's why he attains stuff, is to provide and protect his family.
As far as men, our dick's not working, well, we can take a pill to get our dick back in order, but you can't take a pill to tighten up that pussy again.
Oh, yes, we can. Oh, yes, there's surgeries, baby. There's all kinds of shit.
You all that. You can keep that pussy.
Just like you get needle implants and all this other stuff. But see, right now, we're arguing over petty stuff right now. It's not productive, okay? We both know that there's things surgically that all can do. Am I correct?
All right? If you got to get surgery to get it together, we're cool. Let me
well,
just go
you
get
do too. You do too, because your dick stops getting hard. Come on.
We take a pill and we good to go. I don't want no Frankenstein pussy. I'm sorry.
Well, whatever. Well, then just keep fucking until you catch something in.
No, it ain't about fucking. It's about just having a peace of mind. It ain't about sex.
Well, then what is it about then, Tariq? You're so confused.
It's about having a peace of mind. It's about black men want a peace of mind. All this bullshit.
Well, then you provide and you protect for a woman, and you'll get peace of mind.
Please,
She'll be obligated to you. You'll be holding the bread that she needs to eat. Don't you get it? That's how it works. That's how nature works.
It doesn't. It works that you handle your business, we handle ours.
And that's why it doesn't work. Most women who earn more money than their man, the relationship ends in divorce. The odds go down. Because we're reminding you every day of your failures when we're doing better than you. Reese Silver's getting a divorce. That girl with the $1 Million Babies getting a divorce. Goldie Hawn talked about how she was failing in relationships. Betty Davis talked about it. Everybody talks about it. So you black men got to get your game right and be on top of the world. You're men just like white men are, just like Asian men are, just like Mexican men are. Y'all just are using an excuse to fail. Why you letting us beat you? That don't make no sense. You guys are men.
How could you guys aren't getting married? So how you beating us? Black men are getting married. Black men.
No, you're not. Your marriage rate, there's a 2% difference. We're unmarried at 42%, and you're unmarried at 44%. Big damn deal. And that's because so many of you are abandoning your race, your community, your females, your responsibility. You in jail.
Who's married? You very rarely see a single older black man. You very.
Oh, come on. They're all over the place. What are you talking about? They're all over the place.
Black men can, when they get older, whatever, more established, it's easy to get married.
And a lot of you guys are dying off. There's more men born than girls, okay? There's more boys born than girls. But at 18, you guys start dropping off. You start killing each other with homicides, going to jail, incarceration, heart attacks, all this other stuff. So I don't know what world you're living in. You guys are in bad shape, and you need us to motivate you.
Hell no. That has nothing to do with the price of tea in China.
You of course it does. You're the one that started it, so I just finished it for you.
You have to be a woman who's worthy of being taken care of like that.
And I am. And I'm being taken care of. Are you taking care of some woman? Are you helping some black sister out?
Nope. I don't believe that. I still don't believe that. But a lot of you women try to outman the man.
What do you think your job is as a man? I mean, what do you think your job is as a man? Just to walk around loving and leaving and dogging? I mean, what do you think your job is as a man?
And knock yourself out. A lot of you sisters have masculine connotations, like you.
Yeah, because we have to pick up your slack. Don't you get it? Dang. Not rocket science here.
Stop trying to be a man, and then you'll get a good
one. Well, then be a man and we'll be more girlish. That's my whole point. When you guys are more mannish, we'll be more girlish. That's the way it goes.
We've moved on. Brothers have moved on to black women of other countries. Shit, we've moved on.
Well, because you guys, it's just another sign of your abandonment and your irresponsibility. That's all. You're hurting your own biracial daughters. Don't you get it?
We date black women from Brazil, Africa, all over the world. I mean,
well, good.
With black women at all.
See, you're too competitive. I have tried to be nice to you, and you just want to be mean, angry. Talk about an angry black woman. You are an angry black guy.
You're talking gibberish. And
no, I'm talking facts, baby. I back mine up. I'm an intellectual.
Name Pearl Jr.
I'm a scholar.
Jr. is
a college degree.
Why is your name Pearl Jr.? What the fuck is your name Pearl Jr.? That's a masculine connotation.
My mother named me that. My mother named me that. Maybe because she thought maybe I needed to be more of a man to survive. Maybe that's what she thought.
You started off indoctrinated with nonsense.
My mother named me Junior. I'm sorry. I didn't have anything to do with that.
That was messed up for her to do that because she taught you to be a man.
I'm not a man. And you're right. You're right. We have spoiled our boys and we have raised our girls. You are right, Tariq. But there comes a time in my book where I talk about, ladies, we need to learn how to be girls and speak a man's language. I'm doing this for you guys, okay? I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm not doing this to dog you. I want us to have better relationships.
Can you talk a little bit more about that as far as speaking the language?
Yeah, like there are certain languages that we speak. Like my man, if I don't have dinner cooked when he comes home, he doesn't say anything, but I watch that he doesn't like it, right? So I know, to do that. Or if his voice gets a little bit strong, I know to be quiet and let him finish saying what he needs to say. Also, instead of me saying, no, I don't like that, I said, well, baby, what else are you thinking? You see, there's a language to men. There's techniques and strategies that I had to learn in order to get a man, and I want to teach other black women this so that you men can be men.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you talk to your man like that.
Well, you got to read the book. You have to read my book.
If I were your man, I would beat the shit out of you. I would be so...
Why?
I would be I would get all types of domestic violence charges. I would...
Why?
I couldn't...
Because my angry black woman, my God.
Listening to you and the disrespect that you have for black men.
I think black men should be more. They should take their responsibilities as men more seriously. You are providers and protectors. That's what men are, and we're your responsibility. And so are your children. And you're not doing that. And I don't know any sane man that would sit there and say that I'm being ridiculous. That's the truth.
We're not your responsibilities. We're not.
You are our responsibility. Just like a wagon train that moved west, take care of the women and the children.
A lot of the women are too irresponsible for us to be your responsibility. We're not paying for your fuck-ups. It's
What
too
do
much.
you mean, paying for a fucker? They're supposed to provide and protect us. That's what men do.
If you were worthy of that, but the thing is, if y'all want to go out here and smoke weed, pop out kids by every nigga in prison, fuck around, not handle business, not cook, not clean, because that's what a lot of brothers go through when they deal with these sisters these days. They ain't doing shit in the household.
Well, I teach that stuff in my book.
You ain't teaching them fast enough because they're not getting on to it. And while you're
just
teaching
came out in May, and I'm trying to. I'm doing my job. I got your back more than you could ever even imagine.
While they're getting the gist of it, we'll be over here fucking with the next bitch.
What?
Anyway, next question.
Okay, let's get into the next question. Tariq Nasheed, this question is for you.
Yes, sir.
In your Importance of Man podcast,
yes,
you said the black community is a matriarchal society.
Yes.
So a lot of brothers are used to being dominated by women. The average American male under 35 that are raised by single mothers were brought up to value women. So when they see these men, when they grow up, he ends up being run by his woman. Eventually, the woman loses respect for that man. Now, in your opinion, you feel like this is unnatural, I assume. Can you chime in on that?
It's extremely unnatural. Again, we live in a matriarchal society, so men have always gotten the feminine point of view on how to deal with women in relationships. Guys have to learn the hard way, black men especially. We have to learn the hard way on how to realistically deal with women, because black men start off believing that they have to nurture women and do all this stuff and provide. That's an ideologic mentality, but when brothers get out here dealing with women in real life, and these women are trying to twist them up, and they dealing with women who are not worthy of being taken care of like that, these women are not worthy of that type of respect, that makes brothers back off and be like, damn, what am I to do now? So a lot of brothers are moving on. Now, I say there are a lot of sisters out there, that's cool. Most brothers, especially successful ones, have just abandoned black women altogether. I don't even agree with that. I'm one of the few public figures, and I've always said this, male public figures, black men, that will still date black women. I have a lot of friends in Hollywood, and they might waddle out some sisters publicly, but in their private lives, they mess with white women all day long. It has become a scavenger hunt for the average black man to find a black woman who gives them respect and who really has her stuff together. Because a lot of sisters like to hide behind degrees, and I go to college and I do this, but this is not indicative of what black men want in a mate. We want somebody who can take care of home, somebody who can give us a peace of mind, somebody who can just give us basic respect. That's pretty much it. And a lot of sisters are not buying it. And if you do that, we have no problem taking care of you and all that. But if you're going to outman us, disrespect us, say we ain't shit, dry snitch on us, niggas getting locked in jail because of these sisters snitching, writing books about brothers, telling our personal business on websites, gossiping, we're cool on your ass.
Mm-hmm. And I see that is a problem, and I don't think that everything you say is wrong, okay? There's always truth. I mean, the broken clock is right 2 times a day. But what I'm going to say about that, though, is that you guys have to take the first initiative, because in order for us to be more nurturing and to be softer, we have to feel safe. Even a skunk, when he's being attacked, he lets off a spray. Anybody does. Any species does. So when we are provided for and protected more as women, you'll see the natural womanness come out in us. It will, I promise you. Because it's natural for us to be nurtured.
A skunk will leave the forest when there is no food, and that's what brothers are doing. We're leaving the forest.
Well, I mean, then we'll leave the forest too. Okay, I mean, come on. I found out that black men can't stand black women with non-black men. They hate us seeing us with white men. So if you want to do that, that's fine. Let me tell you something. Guess who'll have the better neighborhood? Okay, guess who'll be in the houses in the hills? It won't be the white girls with the brothers. It'll be the black women with the white men, because the white men have all the damn power, the money, and the control. So now who you trying to get up on? Huh?
Done it then. How come
like
y'all
a punishment, like a punishment. You the one that'll be losing. White women take. They don't give. They take. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. White men are givers. They're providers and protectors. So if you want to talk about abandonment, then we'll abandon your asses, and you won't have nobody to pick you up when you fall. You understand me?
If you could have done it, you would have done it already. White men don't like the same shit we don't like. We don't like fat, loud-mouthed women.
Oh, come on. My sister's married to a white man. She don't work. He's a lawyer and everything. He's a civil rights attorney. My other sister's with a white man. He just got an inheritance of $1 million. They live on 3 acres in Idaho somewhere. What are you working on?
How come y'all ain't marrying them? Go knock yourself out. How come y'all don't?
To be perfectly honest with you, I love black men.
No, you
I
don't.
grew up in a non-black neighborhood, and I've always loved black men.
You just shitted on brothers. You just shitted on all brothers.
Your irresponsibility, everything. I've always been loyal to black men.
Please, go get your white man. Knock yourself out.
I've been loyal. I say this all the time. I say that I think black women should look outside because black men don't know what their responsibility is to provide and protect.
Don't other races of men like and dislike the same thing black men like? They want a peace of mind. White man ain't gonna bring no loud.
Are you kidding? We're getting married. It's increasing every day. What are you talking about? When a man is the provider and the protector, that's what you're not understanding. You get the respect. That's how it works. You guys want the respect without doing your job. That's the problem.
No, there's a collective lack of respect that black women have. There's a lot of love that sisters have for black men, but there's a collective lack of respect based
You be the provider and the protector, and she got to depend on you for a roof over your head. That'll make her subservient real quick.
A black man can provide all day long, and the woman will be like,
but
okay,
y'all don't.
I'm about to leave you and get all this little child support money. So,
oh my God! Now you're going to mention the minuscule amount of child support when it's your own kid. You're going to complain about paying for your own kid now?
Minuscule.
I mean, come on, grow up.
Cleaners. They're taking brothers to the goddamn cleaners as far as child support.
Oh, that's a lie. That is such a lie. You have no idea. We get 20% of what white women get for child support.
That's what you do. And brothers ain't signing up.
Oh, my God. You're just
complaining.
Like, you know how they call men, you know, like you said, that your mama's rage, you're your bitch maid. You're sitting there complaining like a girl. You're sitting there like angry black man. You want to make every excuse in the book. You don't want to see the reality of the communities where you're supposed to provide and protect, and there's crime and there's poverty. You don't want to see that 70% of us are having babies out of wedlock. You're abandoning us when you have an offspring there. You're not understanding that the households are run by women because you're not there. You're not understanding your own doggone point about Condoleezza, Kathy Hughes, and Oprah Winfrey beating you guys. You are men. Stand up and be men. Get out there. Fight the good fight. Be tigers. Be lions. Do it. I want you to.
You are a woman, so learn how to shut the fuck up and do what you're told.
Okay. Let's jump in. Let me jump in.
I do. With my man, shut the fuck up. You better believe it.
This question is for both of you.
I would beat the brakes off you if I was your man.
All right. Okay. With all the negatives that both of you have listed, what do you think is the root cause of some of these problems?
I think racism, and I think that when black men came over here from slavery, and they were emasculated, they weren't allowed to be men, they weren't responsible for their children. NASA has the final word. I think it's emasculated black men, and I think that black men still have a big fear of being men. I think there's something in our DNA that's gotten in there where our men are afraid to work and look the white man in the face and say, I'm just as good as you, and I deserve to have everything that you have. I also think what contributed to it was Daddy was a welfare check mentality. I think that once the government took over the job of men, it left them with nothing to do, so they went out wild and they had no purpose, and they became failures. And now I think what's happening is hip hop, where you're disrespecting women. Every species needs a man and a woman in order to continue. And with hip hop calling us bitches and hoes, it's really defeating black men. You guys are really not in good shape. As a group,
rappers calling y'all bitches and hoes, if you have such a problem with that, talk to them women about lining up around the corner to be in a bitches and hoe video. You guys like to be called bitches and hoes. They love it. The minute a bitch and hoe song come on, they're the first one dancing. So if you
we fell for it. We thought it was freedom of speech and all this other stuff, but now hip hop isn't selling anymore. The record industry is going down right now.
I'm not even going. That's a whole another digression. The bottom line is
we're not buying it anymore. We're waking up. We're waking up.
In the 60s and 70s, the government stepped to black women and be like, okay, if you have kids, we're going to give you this check under one condition. Right. You cannot have a man in the house. Those were the stipulations of Section 8 and general relief and all these welfare programs. And dumbass sisters fell for it. Women with their minds together, they say,
you guys allowed it to happen.
How the fuck?
You guys allowed the welfare system to beat you out. You allowed that.
Y'all went
White
for that.
men didn't. White women could have gotten welfare too, but white men fought with it. Mexican men, Asian men, they stayed with it. But you guys were the ones that did not, that punked out and let it beat you.
Please. What we supposed
to do? You let it beat you.
How we let that happen? Y'all got the checks. That's a
No,
good
but if you would have provided and protected more than the county would have, we would have chose you over the county. You see, but since you couldn't, we chose the guaranteed because we couldn't depend on you, because you still had fear of massa for slavery.
We had no fear of massa. Y'all just start
Of
popping
course
out
you did.
kids out of nowhere to get an easy check, and you're suffering for that.
What do you mean easy check? You're suffering too. You guys are incarcerated like mad. You know, more down low men, more than ever before. I mean, you guys aren't graduating from high school. You're not in college. You don't have a great job.
We're good. We're all right. We're not complaining. We're all right.
What do you mean? You're not okay. That's a fantasy. You guys are in bad shape as men. And I love you guys so much. And I'm going to tell you, I love black men so much. But somebody's got to whip you. Okay, you need to be, your job is to provide and to protect.
If we're so fucked up, go get you another race of motherfuckers. That's my whole
I got
point.
a black man. I have a man.
If we're so fucked up, go get a plethora of other men to fuck.
No, I want you guys to do better. I don't want to
The common
examine you.
denominator is you. That's the real thing. Common denominator, black women like you. You don't have a man because of you. It's
Why do you keep trying to say I don't have a man?
It's your own worst thing. You don't have a man. I don't believe
Of course
it.
I do. I swear to God on my children's lives I have a man.
And I don't believe it. I do
Why?
not.
Because you can't believe that I would have a man? Because it sits in your box of your prejudice and your racism against your own women, women that look like your mama and your daughters. It don't fit in there, so therefore I have to be manless because you're used to saying to women. I had a man once that told me, that's why you ain't got a man. I was like, you my man.
My mother don't have a blonde weave. My mom
So what? I don't have a weave.
My mama don't
I
have
wear an afro.
The women
I wear an afro.
shit like my mother or any other black man's mother. Our mothers set the bar high. Our mothers
Well, good, but then you should love and respect black women because guess what? Just like you do that, the black women are somebody else's mama too.
No, we love and respect women who are worthy of respect. If you're a black woman who ain't shit, we ain't giving you shit.
Well, I understand that.
That's the thing.
But there's a lot of us that have a lot to offer that you guys still are passing up because of whatever. You think there's more fish in the sea, more candy in the candy store. Because you can't keep your wee-wees in the pants. You got to go out feeding. You got to have multiple women.
Besides your blackness, what else are you offering black men? I don't hear nothing but fuck with us because we're black. You're not offering shit. What are you offering?
I think black men are very charming. I think you guys are extremely talented. You're born the most talented men in the world. Okay, I think you guys are extremely, just fascinating. You're fun. I love black men. I've never strayed. Not like you. You strayed.
What are black women like you offering us besides your blackness?
Okay, I am a good woman. I cook for my man. I clean for my man. We have great conversation. If he knows I want something 2 days later, he gives it to me because it's important for him to see me happy. He says, if you're happy, I'm happy. You see what I mean? I get to stay home and be an activist and an author.
Okay, so conversation, food. Okay, the average black woman ain't doing that. The average black woman has mentality.
But that's what my book is about, how to do that.
The average black woman is like, well,
I'm not going to let you sit here and disrespect me and not speak up to myself. Come on.
Ain't nobody respecting you. I'm letting you run your own mouth. You're digging yourself a hole because you're contradicting.
No, you dig yourself into a big hole. I got you on this one.
You're contradicting yourself over and over again. Crazy is shit.
No, you just want to fit it in the box. That's why you don't want to admit that I have a man. You don't want to give any credit because you're the one that contradicts everything that you say is contradictory.
I would love to talk to your dude.
Why? So you can throw salt?
I'm not
to ruin my relationship?
I wouldn't throw salt in you. How could I ruin your relationship? I'm a Mack. Come on now.
No, I said you try. You would try to.
How can I do that? How can I fuck up your...
Because a lot of you men hate to know that somebody loves us. You hate that. Somebody loves me. Okay? I have a great relationship. Somebody loves me.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here. This question is for Pearl Jr. This is going to be the last debate question of the evening. Basically, I wanted to ask you more about the situation with successful black men that are in entertainment and the urge to not support them because they are dating non-black women. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. I will not give 1 penny of my money to someone who thinks I'm a part of a less than group of women. I will not support anybody who thinks I'm not good enough to date or to marry. I will not date someone who is a racist against his own race. I will not contribute to that. I will not give 1 penny to that. I will not watch him on television. And that's what Boycott Black Men is about. And that's a website that's out there right now. And they don't mean any harm. They just said enough is enough. You guys need to come home, take care of your responsibilities, clean up your communities, clean up your relationships, and really be the providers and the protectors you were born to be.
Tariq Nasheed, chime in, please.
This is what I'm saying, Pearl. This is why I think you're crazy. It's cat shit. That's utterly ridiculous.
That's silly.
No, straight up and down. That mentality is so immature, and unfortunately,
a lot
of black women have that immature ass mentality, worrying about what the next black man is doing on the screen. That's fantasy. That is fantasy. That you gotta grow up out of that. You're too old to be sitting up here talking about you're not going to support somebody because they're dating a white woman. That's like
just like I won't support hip hop. I won't support hip hop because they're calling us bitches and hoes. I don't buy that. I won't let my son listen to it. I won't let my son have 2 earrings in his ear. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, but you got all these brothers walking around with bitch-ass 2 earrings in their ear because they're trying to look like they mamas because their daddies weren't there to tell them what men were.
Stop running your goddamn mouth for a minute. That's why I know you
don't say crazy stuff then. Don't be calling me names then. If you call me names, you name calling.
Okay,
I don't call you stupid. I say you contradict yourself.
Okay. Let me allow Tariq to say what he wants to say, and I'll let you respond.
Well, tell him to stop calling me names.
Stop running your damn mouth.
Let's just be respectful. And
like I said, to have that kind of mentality, that's like a 16-year-old girl saying she's not going to buy a Lil Bow Wow's record because he's dating Sierra. You grow up out of that dumb shit when you become an adult. You don't sit up here talking about it. Don't matter. If you are worrying about who Tay Diggs is dating or Denzel is dating, that means you have no life. This is why I don't think you have a man.
Oh, my God. You're so ridiculous. I ain't even going to get excited anymore because it's gotten so ridiculous.
Because you know you're ridiculous. Crazy you sound. You know you sound crazy.
Oh,
you're not going to support somebody based on who they're dating.
Why support somebody who thinks you're nothing, who thinks you're invisible?
Where do you get that leap? He's dating a white woman until he thinks you nothing. That's a hell of a leap to make.
No, it isn't, because if he thought we were something, he realized the need of his presence in the black community and know that if he was with a black woman, he could help that black family out. His resources could maybe help pay for a college education. He could maybe start a business with a black relative. But you guys are just totally ignorant. You don't connect the dots or anything.
I get it. You don't get it. Sisters like you don't get it. That's why you're losing. That's why you don't have marriages.
We're losing.
Pearl Jr.
Yes.
If a black actor was married to a non-white woman, but he was going back into the black community to do for the black community, would you support him?
It doesn't work. No, the NAACP has been, Julian Bond is married to a white woman. He's been chairman of the NAACP for years, and it hasn't done a damn thing, okay? So therefore, I know that his loyalties are mixed up when he's with a non-white woman, a non-black woman, because he has to, please her. He can't be too pro-black because he's going to get offended.
There's a lot of broke-ass dudes out here in the hood dating black women. They're not helping out the community, so your argument...
Then I boycott them, too.
Please.
I boycott them too.
Brothers are dating black women already. That's not helping no community out. The black community.
Yeah, if you were providers and protectors, maybe you would.
If y'all were the
do your job. You are born to be a provider and protector. Y'all ain't doing it. Too much crime, too much poverty. I mean, it's simple. Duh.
Fuck up and cook.
Got men wearing 2 damn diamond earrings because the father didn't tell them boys don't wear 2 earrings.
Please, you can't get a man who could afford diamond earrings. That's why you don't like him.
Let me tell you who my boyfriend is, okay? His father owns Casablanca Records, okay? So don't come talking to me as if I'm some dumbass bitch that don't know what she's doing. My book is about how to win sisters, how to make our men better men, how to be good providers and protectors. It ain't some nonsense just venting like you saying one thing but then parading scantily clad all races of women all over your website saying, we shouldn't give up the pussy easy, but you teach others how to get the pussy.
Casablanca Records, they haven't put out a record since the Parliament Funky
Day. They sold it in the 80s. They sold it in the 80s, okay? I'm just telling you who he is, that he's not a Rudy Poot, okay?
own a defunct record company, and that's
Because
your
his partner died. That's why they sold it.
I'm thinking you about to say Def Jam or Death Row. Casablanca ain't put out a record since 1981.
They sold it.
Claim to fucking
He
fame.
came from a very good family. That's my point that I'm making.
Please. Why is he
He came
working?
from a very good family.
Why is he working? Why is he at work? How come he ain't at home just chilling with you in a hot tub somewhere?
What? Oh, see, Tariq, come on.
Exactly.
Right.
Anyway, the next question, Creole. This woman is crazy as fucking cat shit.
Okay. I'm going to leave the floor open to Pearl to address the young black men and women out there listening, and you can basically tell them whatever you feel is important at this time.
Well, I think that we have become too strong, and Tariq did make some points, that I will give him credit for. We have become too independent. We do disrespect our men too often, and we do need to be more girl-like, more feminine. But in order for that to happen, I'll tell black men, if you are the provider and the protector and you take on your natural God-given role, then you will more likely to find a black woman who will respect you because you are providing and protecting her. It's really a simple principle. We need to start at the basis. We need to get rid of all the things that have twisted us up and go back down to you Tarzan, me Jane. And then we'll make adjustments for today's society.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Tariq Nasheed.
And my book, Black Women Need Love Too, gives techniques and strategies on how to do that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. This is for Tariq as well.
Yes, sir. Basically, man, black men have tried to come to agreements with sisters, the average sister, because, again, black men are still dating black women. But if you're not giving us basic peace of mind when we come home, because that's all a black man wants, we don't ask for much. We just want a peace of mind when we come home. That's not too much to ask for. If you cannot provide that, we're simply going to go to the woman who does provide that.
If you kept your pants in, and we can account for where you're at, and you're not out trying to fuck Shaquita and Susie on us, then maybe we wouldn't have an attitude. Okay, take some responsibility for not doing your job and being irresponsible.
That's the
and thinking
generalization
somebody
that
needs
every
to put up
man
with
is
your
a cheater. That's a
disrespectful
negative reinforcement that every black man is a cheater, which is not true. All
Most
black men.
you know that's a big issue. You know it is.
So if you already have these, if you already have these premonitions about black men stepping in, there's not going to be any kind of respect, and black men aren't going to stay around. If you have all these prerequisites on how fucked up a black man is, usually, if you get with a brother, you bring him that baggage, he's not messing with you. Sisters, get the baggage out of your system. Brothers aren't fucking with you with all that baggage. Brothers are doing some Southwest Airlines shit. It's 2 bags allowed. Anything other than that, check that shit at the door.
Okay, well, all right.
Pearl Jr.
So basically what I'm picking up from this is that we need to take responsibility. We need to get back to the basics. But most of all, we need to get over some of these generalizations that are going on. Definitely. Okay. Pearl Jr., how can listeners get more information on your books or contact you?
BlackWomenNeedLoveToo.com, and that's TOO. You can go to my website. The book is also available at Amazon.com and all the online retailers, and in Los Angeles it's at all the local black-owned bookstores as well. It's called Black Women Need Love Too. That's TOO and .com, and you can get my book.
And Tariq Nasheed, how can people get in touch with you or obtain your books or DVD?
They can check me out. You can go to kingflex.org, kingflex.tv. You can go to myspace.com/Tariq_Nasheed. You can go to macklessons.com to get the DVD. And to listen to the radio show, the Mack Lessons Radio Show website is macklessonsradio.com.
And I'll also be on KCEP television PBS on the 29th, on Wednesday the 29th, on a show called Life and Times. And also you can hear me often on KABC Talk Radio, and that's 790 AM in Los Angeles, or www.kabc.com.
Tariq Nasheed, do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, I got a bunch of TV. There's an announcement on of a TV show that I'm going to be doing with VH1. I'm going to announce that on my my podcast. Also, don't forget, guys, go get my books, The Art of Mackin', Player Be Played, and The Mack Within, to learn how to get pussy, like Pearl said.
Okay, well, I want to thank both of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to appear on the show. And I hope to have you on again. I think we're just scratching the surface of this, and hopefully we can come back and talk about some more issues.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much, Creole Juju. I really appreciate it. And Tariq, thank you as well. I hope we learned something from each other.
Absolutely. I've learned a lot from you, Pearl.
Okay, well, thanks, honey. I'd hug you right now.
I would hug you too, but I would probably beat you in the process. But I'm glad.
I'll take that as a joke, honey. All right, then.
Well, thank you very much. We'll be right back. Coach, you there? Oh my God!
Hold on. All right, Pearl. You can go ahead and hang up, big girl. Thank you. I appreciate it, Pearl.
Anyway, this is Tariq King Flex Nasheed. Just got through having a debate with Pearl Jr. from BlackWomenNeedLove2.com. And basically, she was doing what I thought she would do, was contradict herself. You know, I try to respect everybody's opinion, but if you're not a person who's going to stand by a specific principle, it's hard to really take anything you say seriously. I mean, this woman was all over the board, like black women independent, black men need to take care of black women. It was just all over the board, contradictory. A lot of it was very immature. And like I told her, at a certain age, you got to grow up out of that immature bullshit and get it together. Now, as far as Pearl Jr. talking about she's in a relationship, she has a boyfriend, I don't believe that, none the least. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that there's a man that can come home and listen to that woman's mouth. This woman is seriously crazy. It's cat shit. She's insane. And I do not believe that any man with his right mind, now she might have some motherfucker who's on crack or somebody who's fresh out of jail. I don't believe that any dude in his right mind comes home to that. And this woman is like insane. She's not going to support black men who date white women. That's infantile. That's utterly goddamn ridiculous. And I proved that. And she just kept repeating the same thing over and over again because, you know, she ran out of an argument. So when you run out of an argument, you just got to keep repeating the same shit over and over, a little louder. But it was very hard for me to take this woman seriously. So that's my assessment of that. But anyway, this is Tariq King Flex Nasheed on the G Spot with Creole G and Coach. We will be right back after these messages.